Hi, I'm Chris. In this presentation, we'll be looking at the key points of the global financial crisis and its relating issues. We'll also be identifying the relevant accounting theories to these key points, allowing us to better understand the causes and the solutions to these matters.
Hi, I'm Hua Xu. I'm going to introduce the GFC. One of the primary factors that caused the global financial crisis was the industry-wide acceptance of the improper and unethical practices. It was common for financial institutions to enter into high-risk investment as they knew the current market and the surrounding regulations provided an ideal environment. This blending of the rules meant ethical regulations that were meant to benefit the population, such as deposit insurance and the benefit of the population, such as deposit insurance and the Federal Housing Administration allowed banks to invest in high-risk ventures, knowing they would either achieve higher gains or they have lost minimized by the U.S. government. These improper and unethical practices can be explained by institution theory, which is used in accounting research to understand the factors that influence organizational structures. In the global financial crisis, we witnessed mimetic isomorphism as large financial institutions were practice unethical in order to achieve higher returns. Encourage the rest of the industry to then follow suit or mark inferior returns. Normative isomorphism was also displayed in the global financial crisis as financial institutions were collectively accepting the enormity of their decisions, illegally utilizing government regulations in order to make high-risk investment without the risk of large-scale loss. For the solution, a solution to this issue would be having structures and relevant benchmarks and standards which will prevent in social adoption of the unethical principles.
Hello everyone, my name is Karan Agarwal and I will be talking about another issue called GFC, especially the banking crisis issues and its relation with accounting theory. Before going into that, let's look at the global financial crisis was orchestrated by the failure of America's largest banks and financial institutions due to the poor creditworthiness of borrowers and associated inability to repay loans. Two of America's largest lenders, Fannie Mac and Freddie Mac, required the assistance of financial authorities. This example and the bankruptcy of Lehman Brothers would mean over $5 trillion in associated loans would continue the domino effect occurring in the third quarter of 2008, triggering a collapse in global markets. Stakeholder theory allows us to understand the direct and indirect impacts of the failure of these organizations had on a wide range of stakeholders. As some of these large institutions failed, various stakeholders such as employees, customers, and investors experienced drastic consequences. The bank's inability to act in the interest of these stakeholders resulted in employees losing their jobs, customers losing their homes, and investors taking big losses on their investments. Stakeholder theory suggests that taking into account the interest of all stakeholders would allow any entity to maintain a healthy and sustainable business. In this circumstance, if the banks were to take into account the interests of the employees, investors, and customers, they would have taken less risks in their operations. Now I would like to call Chris to talk about other issue. Thank you.
So another contributing factor to the global financial crisis was the incentive for executives to take excessive risks in order to receive large cash bonuses. This placed a large focus on short-term profits and incentivized decision makers to accept higher levels of risk on their investments. Bruce and Skvoda stated that the bonus schemes encouraging disproportionate exposure and significantly higher degrees of leveraging played a major role in the inevitable collapse of the financial sector. So the excessive risks and associated bonuses for the financial executives demonstrated agency theory, as managers with bonuses linked to short-term measure of entity performance will aim to maximise profits, sometimes unsustainably. In the context of the global financial crisis, the moral hazard of agency theory had been realised as the interests of the agent and principal were no longer aligned. The executives were focused on maximising short-term profits, ensuring great investment risk in ventures, and little focus on sustainable long-term investments. This is relevant to the horizon problem outlined in agency theory, as the executives and shareholders had different time horizons and objectives. A solution prescribed by agency theory would link the rewards of the executives and other levels of management to longer-term performance of the organisation. This would reduce a short-term focus and enable management to take a look at long-term sustainable investments. Here are the references we have for the presentation, the articles that we looked at, and thank you very much for watching.